The funny thing about baseball is there's so much going on under the hood at all times that it can take forever to actually figure out whether a player is just running hot or running cold. And there's a pitcher on tonight's slate that fits that description to the T. You're watching The Perfect Lineup, where Josh Engleman and myself, Dave Loughran, look to build the most beautiful lineup, take down a tournament, 2 pitchers, 1 stack, and as always, let the single lineup sims do the rest of the work. Hey, if you appreciate this content along the way, think maybe it's helped you, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. It's free to do. And if you want to get a free week of MLB Sims, all you got to do is leave a comment down below. Let us know who you think the highest scoring stack is going to be tonight. Only 5 games. If you're the only one to guess it, boom, you got it. If you tie with some other people, Josh spins the wheel and someone's getting the free week of MLB Sims, and you can start building better and more profitable lineups in the blink of an eye. Let's get into it. All right, so a weird day of baseball. You got the 6 early games, you got the 5 night games, and then some other stuff scattered in between. So yeah, it's to say our options are limited would actually be a bit of an overstatement, because I actually think this is a pretty decent slate for pitching as far as a 5-game slate is concerned, right? But you heard me in the intro. If there is one guy who I think most people have been unable to figure out this year, or just flat out wrong when they talk about him, it's Jesus Luzardo. He's been all over the map lately. There's no doubt about it. Honestly, you'd be hard-pressed to find another pitcher with results as lopsided as his have been over the last 1.5 months. And since I'm going to dig deeper into the numbers in a second, I have no problem highlighting his DraftKings points performances over his last 7 starts as a way to kind of just exemplify exactly what I'm talking about. But over that stretch, he still has a 30% K rate. He still has an elite 14% swinging strike rate and a 7% barrel rate to boot. Now, it gets even more interesting than this, so hear me out. The reason I pulled Luzardo's last 7 games is because they followed a pretty important revelation in late May and early June that he'd been tipping his pitches. If you guys remember, he had those 2 starts back-to-back where he was annihilated, just absolutely killed right before this 7-game stretch I'm talking about. And I want to be clear about something. This is where it gets interesting. Despite all of the ups and downs from Luzardo this year, particularly over the last 2 months, he still has the 8th lowest FIP among all qualified pitchers. That's NL and AL pitchers. He has the 12th highest strikeout rate and the 13th lowest barrel rate in baseball, despite all of those bad starts that have been mixed in along the way. So yeah, 8,500, it's objectively too cheap. Boston can hit lefties pretty well, but they still have the 6th highest K rate against southpaws. And at the end of the day, we're looking at a 6.5 K prop, a 17.5 outs prop, and a 1.5 earned runs allowed prop, albeit with some pretty heavy juice to the under. To the over.
We did in fact get 2 winners yesterday for the top stack, so we need to find out which one of these 2 are going to pick up a free week of the MLB Sims. And if you are Bill H, take a screenshot of you being the winner right here. Email that to support@stokastic.com and claim your free week.
All right, and to our SP2, this should be fun. Now, like, I don't know exactly what it is about Chris Bassett's home and road splits this year, but they're pretty insane. I mean, 8 starts this year with 20-plus DK points, and 7 of them have come at home in the Rogers Center. 26% K rate to 17% on the road. 0.7 home runs per 9, 2.83 FIP. Really great numbers up north in Toronto. This guy can pitch deep into games. We just saw it earlier this month against the same Yankees matchup he's got today. 113 pitches in that spot. And he's reasonably priced on a night where we only have 5 games. Now, I'll say this, though. I think him and Taj Bradley are very comparable tonight. They're both risky plays for very different reasons, but they offer significant strikeout upside at similar price points and very similar projections. Matter of fact, if you add Slade Ciccone into the mix, you have 3 pitchers in the 7K range, all from 7K to 7,800, who are all projected within 0.8 DraftKings points of each other within our Stokastic MLB projections. If you're playing more than one lineup, honestly, this is the kind of night where what I'm going to do, go heavy on Jesus Luzardo as our SP1 and mix and match between those guys as the SP2. But for the sake and purpose of this video, let's plug in Bassett and see what we can get from Josh's stack.
Well, I wish the Guardians would have been on yesterday's main slate, because then my flub would have been a great answer instead of not that great answer in the Houston Astros. But we'll put yesterday aside. We'll come in today and we'll take the Philadelphia Phillies. Now, I always start in the top stacks tool. This is not going to make it seem like the team that we should take. They are third in top stack. That is solid. They're ninth in value. There's only 10 teams. They are not cost effective, and we'll get to that. They're eighth in stack score. That value is pulling them down dramatically. And they're third in ownership, which is making them seem a bit overowned. But at the same time, we have 10 options. And I like this one quite a bit because of the matchup, because Lucas Giolito, to most people, is probably having a decent season. But his advanced numbers, not so much. So let's think about it here. Against lefties, 145 ISO, real ISO. His expected ISO, 221. That's like 80 points higher. 125 real ISO against righties. I mean, that is like no one's hitting him. It's a 208 expected ISO. That's like 80 points higher. So he's been incredibly lucky with the power numbers so far. And my expectation is that the truth is probably somewhere in the middle, but even if the truth is somewhere in the middle, that's a benefit for us. Now, it depends what we're looking for here between lefties and righties, because Citizens Bank Park plays up power. It's got a 113 park factor, a 108 park factor for runs, but it's split in a pretty big way. Lefty power, 130 park factor. Righty power, basically neutral to a little bit more of a pitcher's park. So our goal is lefties if we can, but we do have some righty savings that we want to hit. Now, right out of the gate, obviously Schwarber and Harper. I don't even know what I'm trying to say there. Schwarber and Harper. Obviously, you're paying up for those guys, but you're paying up for elite talent. You can grab Marsh, you can grab Kepler, you can grab Stott. That'll cover you for lefties. I know we got to go to some righties here. That can check off Real Muto. You got to pay up a little bit more for Turner, maybe Castellanos. Kemp's got the MPE that could work for you. So we have some options, but it might be a little costly. The thing that makes me feel best here, at least at home, tied for 7th in WRC plus for the Phillies. That stands out to me. They're mashing the ball when they're in Philadelphia. And given the fact that while we haven't seen it in real stats for Giolito, I think they're going to mash him here in Philly. So let's get this lineup built using the single lineup simulator at stokastic.com. Jesus Luzardo and Chris Bassett, thanks to Laffy, they are in. Philly stack also in. Lots of synergy with Luzardo, which I definitely like. I ended up settling on Harper, Stott, Turner, Schwarber, Marsh. We're paying a lot here. Turner, Harper, Kyle Schwarber, those are big price tags, but they're the best bats that we can find for Philly. That's going to leave us $3,500 to fill out catcher, third, and outfield, and we're going to get the optimal plays to do that by clicking complete this lineup. And we end up getting 3 individual one-offs. Shea Langoliers in at catcher, Ezekiel Duran in at third, and then Chandler Simpson in the outfield spot. Good day yesterday, if I remember correctly. That loads us up. We've got $100 left, and we need to find out if this lineup is any good. Easiest way to do that, click Run Lineup Simulation. And boom, we are looking good. 41% sim ROI, a 0.2% chance to win, 1.7% likelihood of being in the top 10% of lineups, and a 30% cash rate. You could probably free up a little bit of extra salary, move some of those Philly bats around, maybe get a little bit more stacking in your 3-man if you'd like to. But right now, based on what I see with Luzardo, Bassett, and the Phillies, we've got the perfect lineup.